Spider-Man 2099 vs. Batman Beyond, Future Heroes Clash. Have you ever wondered what would happen if two of the most iconic future heroes from Marvel and DC went head-to-head? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into an epic showdown between Spider-Man 2099 and Batman Beyond. These aren't your typical superheroes. They're from timelines way ahead, packed with futuristic tech, unique abilities, and a whole lot of style. The big question is, in a battle between Marvel and DC's future Guardians, who would come out on top? Let's find out. Both of these heroes have carved their own paths in their respective universes, stepping up to protect their cities when the stakes couldn't be higher. They've brought fresh perspectives and thrilling stories that fans absolutely love. So, let's jump right in and see what makes each of them tick. Spider-Man 2099 Overview. First up, let's talk about Spider-Man 2099, or as his friends, or maybe just us, call him Miguel O'Hara. Miguel is a brilliant geneticist working for Alchemax, one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, sketchy corporations in the dystopian future of 2099. While trying to break free from their control, because who wants to be a corporate puppet, an experiment goes haywire. He accidentally rewrites his DNA with spider genetics. But instead of freaking out, maybe after a little freak out, Miguel decides to use his newfound abilities to fight back against the corrupt powers that be, aiming to protect the people of Nueva York from corporate oppression. So, what can our futuristic Spider-Man do? He's got the classic superhuman strength, speed, agility, and endurance. But he's not just a copy of Peter Parker. He has razor-sharp talons extending from his fingers and toes, perfect for climbing walls and giving bad guys a nasty surprise in combat. He has fangs that deliver a paralyzing venom. One bite, and his enemies are down for the count. His vision is next level too. Miguel can see in the dark and zoom in on distant objects. Unlike Peter, Miguel produces organic webbing straight from his forearms. Now, let's talk about his suit. It's made from unstable molecule fabric, which is super resistant to damage. Bullets, knives, they barely scratch the surface. Plus, he sports an anti-gravity cape that allows him to glide through the air. All of this action takes place in Nueva York, a sprawling metropolis filled with towering skyscrapers that make our cities look tiny. The society is high-tech but heavily divided. The rich live in luxury above the clouds, while the poor are left to struggle on the streets below. Miguel's mission isn't just about stopping petty crime. He's fighting against systemic corruption and corporate greed. Batman Beyond Overview. Switching gears to the DC universe, let's meet Batman Beyond, also known as Terry McGinnis. Terry's a teenager living in Neo-Gotham, a city that's a neon-lit maze of skyscrapers, flying cars, and, unfortunately, plenty of crime. After his father is murdered under mysterious circumstances, Terry stumbles upon the Batcave and discovers that the reclusive Bruce Wayne is the legendary Batman. Driven by a thirst for justice, and maybe a bit of teenage rebellion, Terry convinces an elderly Bruce to train him. And so, a new Batman is born. Unlike Miguel, Terry doesn't have any superpowers. But don't count him out. He's a skilled athlete and martial artist, and the Batsuit amplifies his abilities to superhuman levels. The suit grants him enhanced strength, agility, and endurance. It's packed with features like cloaking for stealth missions, rocket boots for flight, and retractable claws for close combat. It also houses an array of sensors, communication devices, and a full arsenal of updated Bat gadgets. Living in Neo-Gotham isn't easy. The city is filled with new gangs like the Jokers, high-tech criminals, and corporate conspiracies. Terry faces off against new villains inspired by classic foes but with a futuristic twist. And all the while, he's trying to balance school, friends, and family. Comparing origins. Both Miguel and Terry stepped into the shoes of legendary heroes, but their paths were quite different. Miguel's transformation was accidental, a lab experiment gone wrong. Terry chose to become Batman, taking up the mantle with Bruce Wayne's guidance. Both are motivated by personal tragedies and a desire to fix a broken society. Comparing powers and abilities. Time to see how their abilities stack up. Miguel has superhuman powers, strength, speed, agility, all enhanced by his genetic modifications. Terry relies on the advanced technology of the Batsuit and his martial arts training. In combat, Miguel is all about acrobatics and using his spider-like abilities to outmaneuver opponents. Terry combines strategic thinking with his suit's capabilities, using stealth and gadgets to gain the upper hand. Both have their strengths, but they take different approaches to fighting crime. Comparing equipment and technology, let's dive into their gear. Spider-Man 2099's suit enhances his natural abilities. It's durable and allows for gliding but is relatively simple compared to Terry's. Batman Beyond's Batsuit is a technological marvel, giving Terry abilities he wouldn't have otherwise. It features flight capabilities, cloaking technology, and an onboard computer with AI assistance. Terry's arsenal of gadgets, from batarangs to EMP devices, gives him versatility in the field. Miguel relies more on his inherent powers, like his talons and venom, and less on external gadgets. Their worlds and challenges. Both heroes operate in futures that are, well, a bit of a mess. In Nueva York, Miguel battles against corporate tyranny and societal oppression. In Neo Gotham, Terry faces rampant crime, gang violence, and the shadows of past villains. Their adversaries push them to their limits, forcing them to evolve as heroes. Allies play a role too. Miguel sometimes teams up with other resistance fighters. Terry has support from Bruce Wayne and friends like Max Gibson, who aids him with tech and intel. Theoretical clash scenarios. Alright, let's imagine how a showdown might go down. Scenario 1. Neutral ground. In an unfamiliar environment, both would be cautious. Miguel's enhanced senses might give him a quick assessment advantage. Terry would likely use his suit's scanners to gather intel. A misunderstanding could lead to an initial clash. Scenario 2. Nueva York advantage. On Miguel's home turf, he could use the city's layout to his advantage. Terry might struggle with the unfamiliar tech and environment but could adapt using the Batsuit's capabilities. Scenario 3. Neo Gotham advantage. In Neo Gotham, Terry has home field benefits, including Bruce's guidance. Miguel would need to rely on his adaptability and powers to keep up. But let's be real, they'd probably realize they're on the same side and team up against a bigger threat. Who would win? So, who would win in a fight? Miguel's superhuman abilities give him a physical edge. He's faster, stronger, and has unique powers like his talons and venom. Terry's Batsuit levels the playing field, and his strategic mind is a significant asset. If Miguel keeps the fight close and fast-paced, he could overwhelm Terry. But if Terry uses his gadgets and planning skills, he might exploit Miguel's weaknesses. Some say Terry's reliance on his suit is a vulnerability. Others argue that Terry's resourcefulness and Bruce's mentorship give him an advantage. Impact on pop culture. Both heroes have left a huge mark on pop culture. Spider-Man 2099 introduced us to a darker, futuristic take on the Spider-Man legacy. Batman Beyond gave us a fresh look at Gotham and showed that the symbol of the Bat could endure and evolve. Both characters expanded their universes, bringing in new storylines, villains, and settings that fans adore. They've appeared in animated series. Who didn't love the Batman Beyond show? Video games, and tons of merchandise. They paved the way for more futuristic storytelling in comics. So there you have it. A deep dive into what makes Spider-Man 2099 and Batman Beyond such compelling characters. They both carry the weight of legacy while fighting to make their own mark in challenging futures. Who would win in a fight? Well, that's up to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you side with the genetically enhanced Spider-Man of 2099 or the tech-savvy Batman of Neo Gotham? Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and hit that subscribe button for more epic content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay super.